Hello and welcome back to another Warlords of Draenor video. This time I'm going to be taking a look at some new challenge mode weapons. Now in Mists of Pandaria there were no challenge mode weapons, you simply just got your challenge mode set of gear. Though the weapons in Warlords are going to be a new thing, and I'm not 100% sure where they come from. This has been data mined by both MMO Champion and Wowhead, though most of the footage in this video will probably be from MMO Champion, because they seem to have a bit of a better sort of situation going on with the actual animations of these various bits of gear. So, what do I think of everything? Well, first of all, let's cover the one-handed axe. I think it looks absolutely fantastic, especially when it turns red. The fire effect is really nice, and it's interesting because when you look closely at it, you can definitely see that it's not ultra complex. It's just a rather simple effect that's pulled off very well, and I like the way there's a little jet kind of shooting out of the top there. So overall, I think that's really damn cool. Next, we have this firearm. This is some crazy-ass sci-fi stuff. This thing would basically fit within Halo. I don't know, I feel like if in Halo they were adding a fourth faction on top of the Forerunner people that they have at the minute, that they could wield a weapon like this. I think it looks fantastic. Essentially, it seems like some sort of crystalline railgun. Either that, or it, of course, is just using that crystal that's floating in the middle as some sort of power source. But I love the way it opens up, I love the way it shoots, and I think that looks damn cool. The only challenge they'll face, though, is actually timing that with ability shots, so I'm not 100% sure how that will work. Next, we have this mace. Now, this is perhaps a little bit less flashy, but I like the way those spines at the top, or little thingies, whatever they are, move around the place. They make the weapon feel appropriately sharp and cutting. I think that's a really nice feeling to communicate with a weapon, which is, yeah, it's pretty good. It looks sort of Arakoa styled. You've got, well, I think the kind of like a beak / talon shape with the actual blade, and then those little spines at the top nearly look like some sort of plumage. It seems like the Arakoa are what inspired that piece of armor anyway, or that piece of gear. Though, speaking of pieces of armor, we have a shield here. Now, this shield initially starts off being a rather mediocre fellow, however, it expands out, and I think that looks really damn nice. I don't think this would really work for a character that's perhaps a tank, but maybe if you're a shaman that uses like an intellect thing, it would look cool. Though, this is probably, now that I think about it, just transmog gear, so I suppose as long as you can transmog it on, then it's pretty much your own prerogative whether you use it or not. Next, we have a big-ass polearm. This polearm is not messing around, just look at it, it's bloody humongous. Especially the size of the actual hand grip in comparison to the actual, like, the character's hand, it's truly ginormous. I just don't know how they'd be able to get a character to animate with one of these in a manner that actually is decent and makes sense. Perhaps there's just a bit of an issue at the minute with the scaling with the model. I think that would have to be it. Though overall, I think it is a pretty nice bit of, it's a pretty nice weapon. I like the floating spell, or not floating, the kind of misty blue spell effects. And overall, it does look really solid. It's just pretty damn big. Okay, next we have this shield. Now, this is a very badass shield. It initially doesn't look particularly imposing, but then it breathes blue fire or blue something. I think this is really nice, actually, and there's something that's kind of dwarven about the facial structure of the shield, which I think is pretty nifty. Overall, a nice bit of armor, and I like the way that its initial bland sort of style is juxtaposed by the crazy-ass bright blue stuff that comes out of it. Really cool. Okay, then next we have this staff, and yes, this is rather similar to some of the Burning Crusade staffs that we had, but I think the animation is really welcome. I love the way all the crystal shards just like break out and suck back in. It just looks really impressive. It looks like the kind of scepter that a Draenei would be wielding, and if you are a Draenei, I might recommend trying to hunt one of these things down when you get into the game. And then finally we have this one-handed sword. This thing is kind of insane. It reminds me a little bit of the sword that Gypsy Danger has in Pacific Rim, in terms of the way it forms up. I'm not too sure why I think that. I guess it's just the actual texturing of the blade itself. I think this thing is really nice. Really nice. And of course it's got this nice little blue sheen to, or not blue, green sheen to it. Then also just, it looks really cool in its expanded form, but it also looks cool in its regular form, which is pretty nice. So overall, that's a little bit of a look at this challenge mode set of weapons. I'm not 100% sure when we'll get to see any armor or anything like that, but currently, this is what has been data mined. Do let me know what you think, and stay tuned to the channel for daily Warlords of Draenor coverage. Anyway, that's it for me, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.